Nya nya. Nya nya nya. Nya 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 nya. Hey guys on Ask Japanese. Ooh, this is Cathy Cat. Greetings from the jungle of Tokyo. And today we're going to talk about otaku skills. Skills of the fans, the freaks, and the maniacs here in Japan. So let's find out what they are. Yeah. In Japan, the word otaku generally is used for fans, but in the West, it's generally used for anime and manga fans or fans who maybe like Japanese culture, but here in Japan, it's actually a broad variety. You can be an otaku of anything, of idols, of trains, of cars, of planes, of the most intricate, detailed little things. So if there is something you're really focused on and that is your main core hobby, that makes you an otaku. But also your occupation can make you a professional in a certain area and almost give you knowledge to an otaku level. So for example, having worked in anime, the director knows now if, for example, a cell has the wrong color, the clothing is slightly off, there's maybe a pencil stroke left behind that shouldn't be there. All those kind of in-depth knowledge things you can also gain from work or by being a core fan of a certain genre. Now is the question, do you use that knowledge for good or for bad? First story is the Otaku Detective. One otaku lady was a great fan of voice actors, especially male voice actors. So whatever voice she could hear, she could instantly know who that was, what his name is, what he's already acted in. She was a pro at male voice actors in Japan. But not just their voices, she also followed several of these voice actors on their social media, including Twitter. And one of the male voice actors put up a picture of him actually raising a rucola plant in his garden and showing it off very proudly that it was ready to get harvested soon.
Yatta!
よくできました。
But she also followed female voice actresses, and on that day she also saw a Twitter post from a female voice actress who showed off her lunch salad. And on top of that was a rucola leaf. From there on, she started looking at both of their pictures more in details, even from posts from the past, and compared and realized those two voice actors were not only dating each other, but they're probably also living together in the same house. And she found all of that out just by checking out the veins on the leaves of the salad in detail. But instead of just being proud of her accomplishment and having found that one out, she thought it was her responsibility to neglect their privacy and tell the world what she found out. Number 2, we have the power of the otaku to get hold of the vaccinations. Here in Japan, once vaccinations became a thing or accessible to the public, there was a big problem with the internet and getting those reservations. At the start, there were only around 2,000 vaccination slots per day here in Tokyo, and since we have a super aging popularity, thousands and thousands of people tried to get hold of these vaccinations. Many of them asked the younger generation to help them with the internet, some were on the phone for absolute hours, but booking those internet slots was super hard. But one lucky lady managed to book an appointment for her parents, and she said the pure reason why she managed to get hold of that vaccine appointment for her family was because of her Disney skill. In Japan, Disney is called Yume no Sekai, the Dreamland, and actually thousands and thousands of people love going to Disney, maybe even more than in your country, so do not underestimate how many people love Disney here in Japan. When there are special events at Disney, it's almost impossible to get hold of those tickets because thousands and thousands of people will want to go and try and get their hands on those rare events, and that is a real battle. The lady that posted on Twitter, she had been a Disney otaku, which means many times she tried to get hold of those rare tickets, and she was prepared for these types of events. And she said compared to getting a ticket for Disney, getting a vaccination ticket was easy. In order to get a ticket at Disney, she was used to reloading the page hundreds and hundreds of times. But in order to get the tickets for her parents, she just had to reload it about 10 times per parent. So all her years of practicing and training for Disney to get them Disney tickets actually helped her help her parents in the end by booking an appointment. That came in handy. Number 3. The Otaku Survivalists. Can you survive in the wild by yourself? Can you battle with a bear? Can you live without water in the wild, find water in the wild? Or can you survive the hot Japanese summer? There is also an article about how otakus are very strong to deal with the Japanese summer heat. Yes, it can be very hot in Japan, and also there is a big danger of heat strokes due to the humidity and the heat. And otakus are known to be very strong and resilient to the heat because they have their rules and they have practiced. For what? In Tokyo, there is a Japan-famous and world-famous event called Comiket, the Summer Comiket and the Winter Comiket. And the Summer Comiket is very hard because people are lining up in the morning for this famous anime manga event, and they line up sometimes in temperatures up to 40 degrees with 80% of humidity, and they stand there for hours in the heat. There are also some very strict rules. Even if you might be lining up in the morning before the event for hours, you are generally not allowed to sit down, and you're not allowed to leave the line if you want to go to the bathroom. But Japanese Comiket survivors and common goers have developed 12 rules to survive these tough conditions. Number 1. Otakus have to get used to the summer heat 4 to 5 days before the event. Number 2. Drink 200 milliliters of water in the morning before you leave. And number 3. Make sure that you get the stamina by having a proper breakfast. Drink water every 40 to 60 minutes is another of the rules because you need to make sure that you stay hydrated through and through without drinking too much or too little. Yeah. Make sure that you bring enough water with you because there won't be enough vending machines at the venue and you cannot leave the line. So you need to just be in your place and deal with it. Also, if you want to go to the bathroom, you can't. So you just need to stand in line and wait until you actually get in later because you will lose your spot in the line. But still, you need to make sure that you keep drinking water so you don't collapse. Do not bring drinks like green tea or coffee because they dehydrate you more. Next rule is bring sports drinks, sweets and stuff that actually have salt in them, and drinks again that contain salt against losing all the salts by sweating. Wear protective gear against the sun, such as hats, long sleeves, or maybe arm covers, and also make sure that if you wear colors, it should be fast drying clothes that you're wearing, and ideally wear whites to reflect the sunshine. Also consider the other material that you're wearing. So for example, if you're later on planning on cosplaying in the heat, that you don't wear materials that are too thick, maybe leathery or even kind of fur and similar things like that, because even in the holds it can get quite hot, or when you taking pictures outside, as the cosplayers usually have a designated cosplay section outside. Again, if you outside after you've gone in on the other side, you stand there in the heat for several hours, people taking pictures of you, and again, if your material is too hot, you might be in the danger of getting this heat stroke too. If you have medication that you take regularly, also don't forget to take that one before you go or bring it with you. If you should feel bad or should start feeling the effects of a sunstroke, let people around you know early. Notify the staff, and if you see someone else who looks like they're not well, talk to them and again, notify the staff and let them know what's going on. Also, if you start feeling a bit iffy, make sure that you leave the event rather early than late, because by the time you feel like fainting, it's already too late. The Comic-Con is a very famous, very big event, and is one of these events that an otaku does not want to miss. And so the otakus are looking out for each other with the help of the staff to make sure that it becomes a safe and fun event for everyone, especially in the summer heat. Those are some of the amazing otaku skills here in Japan, but I'm sure we missed some, so if we did, let us know in the comments down below. I hope you enjoyed blah, 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 blah. Yes. Hi. Those are some of the amazing blah, 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 blah. So, those are some of the amazing otaku skills that otakus have shown us here in Japan, but I'm sure I missed a couple. So, let us know in the comments down below what other great otaku skills there are in your opinion. And also, I hope you enjoyed this little trip around Tokyo where we talked about facts here in Japan. And if you did, be sure to hit that subscribe button, take that notification bell, and I'll catch you soon for more videos here from Tokyo with Ask Japanese and Cathy Cat.